special guest. So here's the thing. We want to apologize.
Oh, yeah.
Because our special guest last week came, hung out, drank some whiskey.
Did a great job.
Did a great DJ set for us, and we got a copyright strike right away.
Thanks,
so
YouTube.
we can't really post the set, but we will post the episode when we get a chance. If we haven't posted it already by the time this comes out.
Well, we posted the episode, but not the music.
You posted the episode? You posted the audio episode?
I posted the audio part of the episode, last week's episode.
The video.
But his performance we're still having a problem with because of copyright and all of that. So YouTube won't let us put it up.
Just want to let Brown Boy know we didn't forget about you.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It's just people more important than us say that we can't do that.
Higher wages than us.
So who do we have here today, Ryan?
Hey, well, why don't we let him introduce himself?
My name is Patrick.
It doesn't matter what your name is. No, okay.
My name is Patrick.
My name is Patrick.
Oh, it's Patrick. This is Patrick. This is Patrick.
Which I swear I need to make a voicemail. It's just that.
You do. Your voicemail is very much hi, this is Patrick.
No, it's because it's professional.
Wait a minute. You have a voicemail recording?
He does.
In 2025?
Yeah.
Well, no, like it's carried over.
From 2024?
No.
Yeah.
From like other years, like back when. Like when places called you.
Yeah, that's
you don't have
when it wasn't just spam.
See how you're unwrapping this question?
Yeah, but hold on.
In real time?
Do you don't have a voicemail?
Yeah, Verizon takes care of that for me.
Yeah, same.
Oh, like mine is personal.
Mine's very, very much an automated message. It's just like,
I don't even know what it sounds like because I don't even wait that long when I'm calling somebody. You don't pick up after the third or fourth ring.
You know what? That is extremely fair. I can't remember the last time I actually left somebody a voicemail.
Yeah.
I should do it now. Just call somebody.
Yeah, we should just call somebody.
Call me and leave me a voicemail.
And then, what's the crazy part? The only people that leave voicemails for me is like Visa or, something financial.
Something telling me that my UPS package needs to have its customs paid for.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's a scam.
Stuck at the border.
Yeah, it's stuck at the border.
Do they ever explain which border it is?
No, it's just a border. It could be the border of New York.
Border.
Could be Canadian. Could be Mexico. It could be anything.
Hi.
In
We've been trying to reach you regarding your vehicle's extended warranty.
Exactly. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah,
in a
I was
while.
going to say I haven't heard that
We
one
didn't
in
let
years.
Patrick finish talking.
Sorry.
I did interrupt him. He was introducing himself.
So yeah, my name is Patrick. That's who I.
That's who this is.
I do writing, directing for film. Haven't done any TV stuff yet. Working on that, trying to.
Yeah. You did write that whole thing.
Yeah.
The baseball thing. I don't know what you can talk about with it, but
that
was a great one.
Yeah. And a lot of it is kind of like writing is interesting in the fact that so much of it is you sit there and you have in your hand an entire film, and then you need effectively somebody to say, I'm going to give you a ridiculous amount of money so that piece of paper could be something.
Okay.
Which is, it's kind of the name of the game, but that's also why directing became something that I really started focusing to as well, is because like it's the whole thing. If somebody else isn't going to give you a job in an industry like this, make your job. Like, make the work.
Make it work for you.
Yeah.
So, that's cool. We're glad to have you on. Also, you're quite a mixologist.
So we're going to let you do the honors this week.
Yeah, we're going to let you pour.
Yeah, poison.
Whatever we have left of Great Jones. Yes. That's from 2 weeks ago.
That's from 2 weeks ago.
Last week we polished
barreled
off.
Through.
We barreled. You two barreled through. I mean, I was part of it, but you guys really polished that bottle off. Yeah. The Maker's 46. Oh, it smells good.
No, it smells. It's nice.
It's nice. Oh, it's
first,
nice.
You got to pour for someone else first. You can't pour for yourself.
Right.
Oh yeah, hold on a second.
Oh yeah.
I tried that before.
Thank you, Mario, our studio audience.
Windows. Sorry. You need more.
We're gonna clink. We'll clink it. Yeah, don't forget yourself.
Try not to. Should we just pour out the rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because we have a bottle for at the end of this episode. Patrick has made and concocted a special cocktail for Hipster and Homeboy that he's going to do live on the podcast, and we have a special bottle for that.
Yes.
Oh, Oh, I'm sorry. Our studio audience, Mario.
There's nothing left. I'm sorry.
There's an extra hand coming in. You could smell the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can
Smell the bottle. Don't worry, Mario. You'll get
You'll get some
you'll
of
some of the next
Hipster and Homeboy signature
Hipster
cocktail.
Yeah.
signature cocktail. So, well, so while we have Patrick here, let's
Yeah.
clink.
Gentlemen.
Drinks up.
Drinks up, gentlemen.
See, what do you think of that?
That's
Really nice.
Tastes like college.
It's really tastes like college. It's really nice.
College was bad decisions in liquor.
Yeah.
What do you think college would have been like if they had White Claws back then? A lot of burping and drunkenness?
No, with our generation, it would have been a lot more ambulances on campuses.
No, I mean, I think. So when I was going to college, there was like
Yeah.
Angry Orchard had. No, I went to college for a long time, so that's why I was in college when.
He's not
Angry
a doctor.
Orchard. Yeah, and I'm not a doctor. But I play one. Nah, never mind. I think Zima was still a thing.
Oh, Zima. No, dude. Zima.
Oh no! You know what
Yeah.
it was? You know what was big? Smirnoff Ice.
Smirnoff Ice. Yeah, you
Smirnoff
ice
Ice.
someone. You have
Yeah.
to ice someone. Did you ever ice someone?
No, it was icing.
You don't know what icing is?
No,
You
I-
didn't know what icing was,
No,
right?
like-
Mario, do you know what icing is? Icing someone? Basically, icing someone is when you have a friend come over, you hide a Smirnoff bottle somewhere, and then you like hide it like behind a box or like you're behind something or under something or just somewhere, and then when your friend finds it, you yell out, "We iced you," and then what they have to do is they have to get down on one knee and chug the entire bottle. That was what icing was.
Of Smirnoff Ice.
Smirnoff
right?
Ice.
So it's been a minute. What exactly is Smirnoff
Isn't
Ice?
that like a
It's like
malt liquor?
It's a malted beverage, but
Right.
it's got the Smirnoff vodka in it.
Okay.
And
Yeah, like it's like
it's like
and
clear-
sometimes
it's
it was
like-
in like a small like bottle.
it was in a like a
No, it was in
beer,
like a
beer size bottle.
Beer size bottle, yeah.
Beer size
okay.
bottle. You know, like a wine cooler.
Yeah.
You know, it's wine cooler adjacent. But it's carbonated.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know it was
Smirnoff Ice was
carbonated.
carbonated?
Yes, Smirnoff Ice is carbonated.
Damn.
It's like it tastes like spiked Sprite,
Do they
the
still
original
make it?
flavor.
Like
Yeah,
Mike's
yeah.
Hard Lemonade?
Okay.
No, because Mike's Hard Lemonade is
like
not
spiked.
carbonated.
That's not carbonated,
Yeah.
that's right. It's spiked.
Yeah.
That I actually liked that.
Mike's Hard Lemonade?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if they still make it anymore.
They do.
They do? Well, they have Mike's Hard Iced Tea.
Yeah, they don't make Lynchburg lemonade. That was like the
Poor choice of
predecessor.
the name, probably.
Didn't hear that one.
Well,
Yeah.
Probably because
Yeah.
it's a bad name.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're-
I hear it in the name as soon
I
as
was
you
gonna say
say
like
that.
there
It's like, oh boy.
got to a
that-
certain time where they were just like, we should just quietly kill this brand.
Yeah. Is someone dragging a body?
We should sunset this brand.
Yeah. Someone is dragging something.
Yeah.
There's
Always sounds going on here in Bushwick.
someday I just want to see somebody actually dragging a coffin because across the street, the Pine Box.
Yeah, that bar used to be a place
Yeah.
where they built coffins.
They built
That is
coffins there.
crazy.
Yeah.
That is so Brooklyn.
That and then the coffee shop next door is where they kept all the wood for the
Yeah.
coffins and
so
everything like that.
that is so Brooklyn. There's nothing more.
Brooklyn than turning a coffin factory
Yes.
into a bar.
No, but keeping the name or naming it after what it used to be.
Yeah.
Like Arlene's Grocery.
Yeah.
Which is not in Brooklyn, but like that's a hipster thing.
Yes.
You know, the knitting factory.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like those
yeah.
those
Terminal
places.
5.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
You know, those things right there.
So
So what y'all do this weekend, huh?
I went to Frames last night. Have you ever heard of Frames?
What's framed?
They have a live DJ there. Frames is like swingers for bowling. It's in Times Square.
Wait, it's in Times Square?
Yeah, it's like right in between 41st and 42nd on 8th, 7th.
With my experience with places like that, having DJ'd at Swingers for over 2.5 years, it sounds, and it's in Times Square,
Yes.
it sounds expensive for patrons, and it sounds like they don't pay the DJ well.
I don't know about the DJ part, but we had an open bar and open food. And I'll tell you, man, the fried chicken there was fantastic.
Of course you tell me that. Of course you tell me that. Why?
well.
Yeah.
This is the second time I've been canceled on this podcast.
Dude, between that and like copyright strikes, like you're gonna get to
Yeah.
like episode 6 and it's gonna be the farewell
This is
episode.
This is episode 7.
Oh,
When
God.
we get to episode 10, it's going to be the sunset. I'm going to be in jail.
People having checklists. He what was it? You Black Haitian Jesus?
Yeah, like Haitian Jesus. Yeah,
What?
Oh, I set him up for that.
he did.
I set him up for that because when I proposed to Natalie, She called her mom, and her mom said, "Oh, I prayed this morning." So I told Ryan the joke. Told her the story, and I was like, "Yeah, she prayed to Haitian Jesus." I said Haitian Jesus, and then when he went back to talking about it, he was like, "Yeah, she prayed to Black Haitian Jesus."
I mean,
In his defense, there's a very good chance that Haitian Jesus is black.
there's a very good chance.
It's first Black Republic, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's logical.
Yes,
Like
yes.
you're everywhere you were going with that.
You know,
Like the evidence you had, yeah.
I was presented with this evidence.
yeah. Ryan doesn't know the history of the Syrian Haitians, or
I don't.
Yeah,
I know.
we're not going to get into it, but
I know the history of Haitians and Haiti.
oh, that's good.
I know all
Hung
about
out
that.
long enough.
Yeah.
When-
Yeah.
You,
What?
you, I didn't know that you knew. I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know a whole
Phil,
lot.
Phil. I mean, I've known Phil for a long time. His mother's from Haiti. His father lives in Haiti. So I know a lot about their independence and where they're at and how they still are paying the French back, apparently.
Essentially, it's basically paying the Chinese now, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
boy.
was gonna say like there's
Haiti, presented by Beijing or
That-
Taiwan.
That's a weird thing to realize is that national debt is something that can be transferred to other countries. Like if a country is like, I will take over the X amount of $1 trillion of debt this country has, I will take that. And like a country's like, yeah, dude, they could owe you instead. And then somebody realizes, wait a second, why are you wanting to have that country's debt
Yeah.
to you? And that's one of those things that you never, like everyone talks about like the national debt and stuff like that. And you're like, then you talk about like international debt. And it's weird to know other countries are literally paying each other.
Do you think one day we'll have space debt?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, if we have anything to do
Yeah.
with it, we'll have space debt.
Yeah.
But
And then we're going to use the Space Force to fight the space war.
oh man, if Star Wars happens, I want to be involved somehow,
don't.
some way.
I don't.
X-wing.
I don't want to be involved in any war.
Well, let's be honest. If the United States got into a space Star Wars war thing, they're going to be the Empire. It's gonna be TIE fighters and Imperial Star Destroyers.
Now, when you say TIE fighters, are you talking like Muay Thai fighters? Or
No,
like,
you've seen Star Wars.
I haven't. Remember?
You haven't? Oh man, I think
I've seen everything that talked about Star Wars for the last 40 years, but I haven't seen. Wait, have I? I've seen it hasn't stuck. I've seen Star Wars.
Well, TIE fighters are just the Imperials, what's that?
Crown
Vic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's just mass produced. It does what it needs to do. But, if you tap it a wrong way, it is going to blow up.
They have a fleet division.
They have a fleet division. Yeah,
The
exactly.
fleet division they sold to the taxi companies
yep.
and the police force all over the country.
Yeah.
You buy one and they give you a helmet. You're like, why do I need this? It's not a motorcycle. And they're like, trust me.
And the
You
Blues
drive
Brothers-
off the lot.
The Blues Brothers of the future are going to buy a used one.
Yes, exactly. So, Patrick, you were saying you've worked in the industry.
No, we were talking about the weekend, bro.
Oh, the weekend. Oh, that's
Yes,
right. I
you
went to
went to
Frames.
Frames.
Skipping
I
out.
went to Frames and for a birthday party. It was an open bar and an open food, and we bowled a little.
I hope so.
I bowled a strike.
Just one
Nice.
strike.
Just the
Just
one.
one. Just one.
That's
A
all
lot
you
of
need.
spares.
That's all you need. The one strike. Yeah, come on.
2 spares turn into a strike if you put them together.
The 2 spares and your car is
That's-
leaning also.
That's a very specific kind of math.
It's
Like-
my kind of math. It's bowling math.
Yeah.
It's bowling math. And then besides that, what did I do on Friday? I feel like I did something on Friday and it's just escaping me right now.
You were somewhere because you met me at a bar afterward. Remember? You were in Long Island.
But you
You got a tattoo.
Oh, that's right. I got a
Yeah.
tattoo.
So what people don't know about Ryan is, no matter what he's doing, he's gonna find a way to meet you out somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Ryan
I'll
is
always
like-
find a place.
It's like, hey, Ryan,
For a drink.
for a
drink.
drink,
Which
you
turns
know.
into shots and then turns into
It-
taxi
well,
rides.
so
It
here's
did
how
turn
you-
into
It turns into shots.
here's how it works. If it comes from the same bottle, it's the same drink.
Exactly.
I like that.
If it's all coming from the same bottle, it's the same drink. I just ran out in this glass, but the glass that looks like a bottle, that's the one I'm counting.
right.
That's a good point. I mean, a bottle of whiskey is just how many shots, Like,
As many as you want
I mean, that is true.
until you pass out.
We could actually do math on that. 750 milliliters, 1 shot is about 1 ounce. How many ounces are in
A milliliter.
a milliliter? Mario?
Mario, how many ounces?
Because we don't use the metric system.
What's million?
Damn it.
A million liters.
So what did you do this weekend?
Oh, I got a
I didn't
tattoo.
do any math.
I got a tattoo. It says "click" on my pointer finger.
Index.
That's pointer.
Index.
Pointer too.
Okay.
Index pointer. This one.
Okay.
It says "click," so when I take a photo, you see it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks. Thanks for letting me get that out. What'd you do? Yeah, it's the pointer finger.
It's the index finger.
Index, pointer, picker.
Yeah, Ryan, you know.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Tell us.
Happy Meals too.
I was just going to say, he talks like a 5-year-old with certain things.
Pointer.
It's the pointer finger.
It's my pointer finger. All right, Patrick, what'd you do?
My funny bone.
Tattoo guy that you wanted that on your pointer finger.
I showed it to him. I just showed him the finger. And
He just showed him the finger. He walked in and went this, and he's like, "Wait, this."
Yeah.
They're
This,
like-
oh wait, no. Melissa actually got 2 little hearts on here, so now she walks around like this.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're number one.
She also got a disco ball and her whole sleeve done.
She did. Wait, she did
She
all
got
that.
3
at once?
tattoos in one. I've never seen this woman do so many interesting facial contortions, and she kept doing shots of tequila.
I thought
is very
they
Melissa.
don't let you.
Shots
That,
of dish
well,
water.
this is I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
No offense to Mario, but tequila tastes like dishwater. I only say that because you're Mexican. And yeah.
I like it.
I
Mar-
don't drink tequila, so no offense to you.
Oh,
Say,
okay, cool.
Mario rebuttal.
Rebuttal for your people.
I mean, he's not wrong.
It tastes like dishwater.
Well, not the dishwater.
Oh.
Commentary, but it's definitely my people's. A lot of them.
Wait, did they wash dishes in it?
No.
It
I say it tastes like dish. I don't like the way tequila
That is
tastes.
such a waste of tequila. Just have, yeah, like
It flows freely. Flows freely.
I don't like the way the tequila is. That's the one thing for me, like, is what ruins a Long Island is if they do a heavy tequila pour.
A
It's
Long
like
Island?
Long Island iced tea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
tequila definitely is. It's a liquor that does have a tendency to not mask well.
Oh no.
Like
Especially if it's a mezcal.
well, mezcal. I honestly, for me, I prefer mezcal because of the fact that the smoke. If you're making a drink, the smokiness is a huge part of why you're using that.
Okay.
But like with tequila is one of those liquors that there's a reason so many cocktails use like citrus, because not only does it complement it, but it's one of the few things you could throw into tequila that you're not just going to have that tequila flavor
Harsh
be so
tequila.
so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
Someone taught me how to drink tequila without the burn. They told me they would tell me, hey, drink it. You hold it for about 3 seconds.
I've heard that before.
Then you down and it takes away the burn completely.
I
True story that alcoholics taught me. That was my brother.
Wait,
I thought the way you do it is you go like this, and you just pour it out, and that's it.
Oh no, that's from dead homies.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
That's
I think that's the best way to drink tequila.
Hold it for 3 seconds, then you swallow. There's no burn.
That's
Mario,
what she said.
I just realized where I heard that. You told me that
Yeah.
while we were doing shots of tequila.
wait, was this when we were at Hank's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
work?
It worked. It worked.
Wait, you hold it
works.
in your mouth for 3
Yeah.
seconds?
Yep, and then you
Yeah,
swallow
and
it.
then-
There's no burn.
Yeah.
Pause.
I wonder-
Like I said,
yeah.
alcoholic
Pause.
taught me how to drink, that was my brother.
I wonder why.
Pause.
Maybe.
I don't know what it is. It works though.
I believe you.
Okay.
I do that with mezcal. That's my.
Well, mezcal. I think mezcal is actually smoother than.
I feel like at this point we should give Mario a microphone.
Oh yeah, I mean it's okay.
Mario, come on. What are you doing? Standing off in the shadows. Why do you? Come on.
Okay, that phone, just if you want to hand that to me.
Why?
I just want to take some.
Oh, okay.
I thought
What do you need my phone for?
he was doing it. Just he's like gonna toss it out the window.
He's just gonna throw it out the
You
window.
don't need this
Nah,
anymore.
you don't need this,
You
right?
don't need this
Clunk.
phone.
I've seen this addiction that you have.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Patrick, you. Well, I'm sorry, Phil. What did you do this weekend? Oh,
Yeah.
it was like that.
No, it was a lot of driving, but I went to visit wedding venues.
Right.
Yeah, and that's an experience.
I
me
can
tell you.
only imagine.
Let me tell you, weddings are expensive.
Yes, they are.
Weddings are really
Weddings
expensive.
and funerals are expensive.
Yeah. What? Funerals shouldn't be expensive.
No, funerals you
I
should
agree with
just.
But what they're doing with
I agree with
funerals is
that.
they're just pulling at your heartstrings. Like, don't you want to send them off,
Yep.
comfortably? Like, it's fucking dead. Like,
Yeah, he's not gonna know.
yo, I want to be cremated.
My dad wants to be cremated too.
I want to be cremated, and I saw this thing where they can, put your ashes in, vinyl and press you into a record.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Straight up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can
Wow.
get your ashes pressed into a record. Do that for me. I'm sure it's cheaper than, a $10,000 casket and then another
Very.
Does your dead composer make the track, or can they make it into a specific song?
You can make it a specific song. If I
Freestyle it, whatever my body.
For me, my ultimate dream is to record something in my voice, like, "Hey guys, I'm just kidding," or something like that, and have them play it at the funeral.
And like hide it underneath. There's just a photo of you like on a table with
Or
like
just a recording of me, like, screaming, "Let me out! Let me out!"
Let me out! I'm still alive. Let me out. So wedding venue is expensive.
Yeah, man.
Did you narrow it down to
We visited 5 so far.
Okay.
And then we got a couple more coming up. But
Gotcha.
I believe I've seen my top 2. Because I've seen a lot of wedding venues. I've been DJing weddings,
Right.
in this area for the last 20 years. So I've seen a lot of venues, and I've seen the upgrades a lot of venues have made. And I could phone it in and be like, "Hey, can I get a favor from a friend?" But at the same time, I want Natalie to be happy. I want her to
course.
actually like the place that we go to. And
Life, happy wife, happy life.
yeah, that's what I've been hearing that for 20 years too.
Uh-huh.
Every best man speech, every third best man speech probably has happy wife, happy life in it.
Yep.
Or don't go to bed angry. Or
Or go to bed angry, have the angry sex, and then
yeah, that yeah,
and then the makeup sex.
yeah, most of them don't talk.
all right, George Costanza.
That's right.
So yeah, that was, and then today I saw one right by me that was really, really nice. I like.
Yes, we were saying that.
I really like that one.
Well, we hope you find one that is.
Oh yeah, it's
Right
gonna
at
be
your price
it's gonna be-
range.
I wanted to talk about, time management this week.
Why was I late?
No. Nobody was late, but I feel like one of the things that I do a lot to people, because I don't know what they do with their time, is in my head I'll vilify them for not doing something I asked.
Yeah.
And then just kind of be then I have to talk back to myself you don't know what they're doing with their time. They don't owe it to you.
Is this because I'm always a little 10 minutes late?
No. I'm always late, bro. Stop it.
No, you've actually gotten much
Ryan, it's not about you.
better.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I think it's because just as you get older, and I've always been in the mentality of if I have to be somewhere, try to be there 10 minutes early. Just my dad got me into that, and who else got me into that, and we can all agree because we all worked there. Apple.
Oh yeah.
Because if you were, we all, literally everyone in this room has worked at Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the camera did.
I mean, I don't, even the camera, yeah. I don't think, who was the last person to work at Apple?
I left
Yeah, it
in
was you.
2022.
Oh, yeah. So did they get rid of the, what do they call them? Demerits if you were late?
Oh yeah.
Occurrence.
Occurrence. Didn't they get rid of those
Occurrences.
because people were getting into car accidents?
No, because that was one of the primary complaints when they were unionizing.
Oh,
They unionized at Apple?
no, they tried to.
Oh.
Well, no.
One store did. Atlanta did.
There are 3 stores
Yeah.
that are unionized. One of them's either Williamsburg or downtown Brooklyn.
Wow.
Yeah. And
The
then
2 stores, they're unionized. They have their own union.
was
Yeah,
it?
the
There was one in
hipsters got it
Atlanta.
done.
That
They would
was,
in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And that's when Apple said, "Oh crap, we need to change our stuff because if those stores unionize, everyone's going to unionize.
Yeah.
And we're going to have."
So what you're telling me is that
Apple union.
companies respond to passive or active threats.
I mean, well, when they can mess with pay and start making demands to the workforce.
That
while
is true.
unionizing, then yeah, that's when they
That is true. It did wonders for healthcare.
Remember when they gave us all the pay raise? Were you there for that? Apple pay raise right before the article came out. The
Yes.
New York Times article.
Yeah.
Was that was in 2014?
Yeah, that was a
right?
while ago.
That was like
Yeah.
2012.
That's
Yeah,
when-
because it
Yeah.
was a couple years before because I started in 2012.
Yeah, so it was
right
like
before that.
2011.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that also happened again recently because I remember Rick was like, I've been working here for 10 years and I make this much, and then people that get hired after me are making
Yeah.
double what I make.
That was the unionizing piece.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I remember.
People
I remember that article came out right after because there was word that the article was coming out.
Yes.
And then they did this crazy math about how, like, for square footage per employee, how much the employees make compared to like a Macy's employee.
Wow.
And it
Oh,
was
yeah, I
like,
remember
that was bad. And it was like, the name of the article was Apple employees high on loyalty, low on pay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember.
Yeah,
Oh.
especially
Yep.
because
Yep.
at the time, like they were hiring like Apple fanatics to work
Yes.
at Apple.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you weren't just like a person that was like, fresh off the street. No, they were seeking out people that were like users of the product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these people
Yeah.
that were like super fanboys. So like they knew that they could take advantage of the fact that you love the product so much and you'll champion it even though you're getting dirt pay.
Yeah, it's the whole. Somebody once described it to me as the golden cage scenario.
Golden handcuffs.
Yeah, where it's like you are working for some place and they're betting on you effectively seeing kind of like how impressive or the like brand recognition as being as
Prestigious.
valuable as like pay, and the comparative rates across the industry, even like when I was working within a corporate capacity, like the comparative rates they're insane. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
were. I remember in 2021, they had to give out. There were talks about like bonuses to engineers, predominantly because Google was poaching them.
Absolutely.
Because they were like, how much do you get paid for the same position? You
get
could
what?
come over here and we'll give you this amount.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And then people are like, what? I can do that. And then
Yep.
what happens is after a while you get jaded because
Yeah.
the novelty. I remember I used to say this all the time when people were like people act like, well, and they're right. People act like you work at Disney World.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're right because Disney employees at Disney. Like as much as they may love the job, it's shit. You're in the hot sun.
yeah.
You're all day. You got to front like you like these fucking annoying ass kids all day. You're probably some of them are in like these hot ass suits because they got to look like Mr. or Mrs. Incredible.
Yeah.
Those
like
suits have cooling jet packs in them, though.
they do now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've learned
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, they didn't. They just
No.
had. They
Back
had
in the '70s, they
paramedics
had a spot for your cigarettes.
a little pouch for your bottle of Jack that you were walking around with.
Yeah.
Exactly. For your
Yeah.
Lucky Strikes and your Jack.
You're like, how is it going? It's the happiest place on earth.
They explain away.
Shut up, kid.
They explain away the smoking with Donald Duck's voice.
I wonder if you could. I'm guessing you could smoke at Disney back in the day at Disney World. Maybe they
Yeah.
didn't let
Is it
you.
full? Is it full no smoking now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
they
they
did
were.
let you smoke back in the day because they used to have a store that sold cigarettes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and
Yeah.
also I remember with Disneyland, the first time I was there, back in like the early 2000s, like there was still
smoking
a
section?
section. Like it was always like right next to the bathrooms, and it was like
Yeah.
it would just be like a bunch of angry people over there, like, and it was
outta
because
here.
it was always like a parent that's like their spouse is like, all right, and like, don't you smoke on this, and they're like, they have that pack, and they're like, that's it.
No,
I've
my
reached the
dad-
breaking point. They're over there just like chain smoking.
Then
They're
they're
like,
in the worst area because
Yep.
now it smells. Now they got to suffer through smelling shit, piss, and cigarettes.
yeah,
My
exactly.
dad would be the guy that would be like, I'm not following these rules and start lighting up on Splash Mountain. You know?
He's in It's a Small World.
Yeah.
He's like just ashing into the water. He's
Exactly.
like, that's not culturally correct.
Yeah. Italians aren't that small. But the other ones.
But the other ones.
There's a lot that's something to discuss.
Yeah, but no, I over time, I think that I've learned to kind of, get over that time management piece.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been times recently where I'm like, what? Why isn't this done? Why the fuck is Ryan not doing this?
What?
Oh, it is.
No, I
about
don't
you.
know what it was specifically.
Dang.
But there's been times with you too, Patrick.
Right.
Like when we were supposed to do this thing like for 3 weeks, it was like Patrick can't do it. Like what the? In my head, I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Why can't he do that?
Other stuff.
And
Like life stuff.
Exactly. That's the point. That's
Life
the point
stuff.
I'm making. That's the point I'm making. The point I'm making is this life stuff. People have lives. People like their lives don't revolve around the Hipster and Homeboy podcast. So you haven't even watched an episode.
See, it's so funny that you say like how you're describing the way that you look at like time management. I'm kind of the opposite in the way that I have a tendency to be so forgiving of people in terms of like what they're doing and if they have to cancel plans or change them or this and that, that it puts me in a position where sometimes I don't basically allow myself to say, wait a second, no, like my time is also valuable. Like if I'm relying on this person. So like I kind of have this tendency to like, give people a lot of leeway, which most of the time is fine. But like some people can like, and it's interesting because it's about your perception of how you value time, and you automatically apply that to other people. Because what other frame of reference do you have?
Yeah, absolutely. And like for me lately, I'm just kind of like, all right, I get it, I see what it is. But like there have been times where I'm like, you know what the kicker is like now I got to do something for someone else, and I got to like push it back or I procrastinate. Then I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry I said that stuff in my head about you.
You were right. I get it now.
Yes, I'm sorry I said all those bad things in my head about you.
I'm sorry.
That's really what it is. Like I'm being transparent, as they say at Apple.
A line and a shore.
Acknowledge, align, and assure.
Let's just take this time in the podcast to give away all the Apple cult secrets.
Do you want to hear something? I recently had an interview.
With who?
In the interview, they asked me a question about that. They were like, "Oh, speaking of Apple, how do you feel, or how do you deal with fearless feedback? Giving fearless feedback?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well,
funny you ask.
Yeah,
Did you give them fearless feedback?
No.
Like, Greg, I don't think that tie matches that shirt.
Did you give him a fearless feedback sandwich?
The compliment sandwich?
Yeah, the compliment sandwich. Are you texting on my phone? Because it looks like.
They didn't teach us the compliment sandwich at Apple, did they?
They
have whatever they want to call it. Yeah.
They wouldn't call it that, but they would say something nice, give you negative feedback, and then end with something nice.
But they wouldn't even give you negative feedback. They would when you're bad at something, they'd be like, "This is your area of opportunity."
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I still say.
Oh, I have nightmares about it.
I still say I have opportunities.
I still use the word align.
I hate that. Align?
Align. That was a word I picked up.
Strike it from your language.
Remember this one? How did you position it?
Oh,
God.
What could you have done different?
What could you have done different?
Yeah. I'm sure all of us have heard that in a corner of the Apple store.
Yeah.
Because that was what you did. You didn't go in the back. You got a talking in the corner.
right on the floor.
Yeah, right on the floor.
So like right in line, like within view of the customer that you're obviously talking to.
For me, like the theory or the I guess the methodology behind it, I appreciate. But because I knew the people we worked with specifically, and you see how they are, and you're like, yeah, you're just using this Apple jargon, so I can't go to HR with this conversation.
Absolutely.
But because I know you, like I actually am more frustrated that you're using this language. You're sullying this language with your shittiness. You've soiled the sanctity of the Apple steps of service.
And then you told them, you're like, now go do penance. And you gave them a cat of nine tails, and you're like, and flog yourself on the way out.
Flog yourself.
Do we want to talk about Patrick's time in the industry here?
Could I talk about my weekend? Jesus Christ.
Okay. All right.
We kind of just glossed over it. What did you do this weekend, bro?
I don't remember.
Nothing.
Video
games?
I did a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Played Ghost of Tsushima. That's a fantastic game.
You got sushi, you said?
No. Mario got sushi. I had some of that.
No,
that was good sushi.
A game called Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Great game.
Tsushima.
Yeah. You know who would love that game? Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang?
Yeah.
Why? Does it take place in Japan?
Yes.
Yeah. In feudal Japan.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. I think that means
that's like Shogun Japan.
No, you're right. Like like Shogun era. Like
Thanks.
It's a great game.
No, it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, really great story and writing. If you're gonna play it though, do yourself a favor. Start it with the game being set in Japanese, because like it makes it better.
With
It does make
subtitles
it
or no
better.
subtitles?
With subtitles. I
Is this
don't
with
speak
subtitles?
Japanese, so
What? Yeah, you don't know that.
I'm like I got halfway through the game and I was like, wow, I don't know what the fuck is happening.
You know what game was good for that back in the day? Bushido Blade.
I don't know
Bushido
what that is.
Blade was on Sony PlayStation.
Well, this is on PlayStation too.
No, this was like PlayStation 1.
Well, both.
This is PlayStation before the numbers.
Oh.
Yeah. Great
Then they went-
Station.
The gray station.
Yeah.
The gray box.
The Gray Station, with the circle button.
I never had the first PlayStation.
Yeah, Bushido Blade was one of the earlier games where it was like you can just like duel.
It was like a
Like-
fighting game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a duel from feudal Japan type. It was pretty cool. But like you can surrender, or you can like where you like drop to your knees and stand straight up so the person can just execute you.
Damn.
If you thought you were losing the match.
Wow.
And it would say something in Japanese.
I mean, that's way more honorable than what like me and my siblings used to do. You would just when you knew you were losing, you would shut off the game console and then you would fight each other in real life.
Or you would do what I would do and just get mad and throw the controller. I've damaged my current PS5 controller because I was so mad.
Oh, yeah, everybody's done that.
It was
Do you
when
have
I
a
was-
twin, you have a twin brother, but do you have
Yeah.
any older siblings?
Yeah, I have one older brother and 2 younger sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have any older siblings?
I got no one. It's just me.
So, do you?
That sounded
did
sad when you said like
You,
just
yeah, I'm
kept
like,
dying.
Yeah, whatever.
They kept
gloss
dying.
over like we don't care about your
No,
sad.
but no, I'm gonna because did they do this to you where it was video game time and it's like they'll like give you the controller but the second controller was not
Yes.
plugged in.
Yes.
That's not plugged in?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah, because if you
Bringing up memories
Yep.
I forgot I had.
Yeah.
you're too
There
young
you
to
go.
know that
Usually
you're not
it's therapy
playing.
that brings this up.
You're too young, I honestly believe that that's literally why they created Tails in Sonic and Sonic 2 because you could control Tails with the
Yes.
controller if you wanted to.
That's such
if you're
a
playing
point.
one player mode. If you had a second controller, you can control Tails, and if
Yeah.
you didn't do anything, Tails would just kind of the computer would take over.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. And
right.
it wasn't split screen either.
The-
It was
Yeah,
like
it was
one
like
you
on
screen.
could play
one-
split
yeah.
screen, but
Yeah.
it wasn't split screen, so you could just be
Would
helpful.
you only die if Sonic died?
Well, the level would restart, yeah, but like.
But
Yeah.
Tails wouldn't die.
Wait.
Yeah, you could do all type of stuff.
Wait.
Tails was invincible.
Mario, way to remind me of that like power too is the fact that like another thing's life was tied to my bad playing of the game. Like I was terrible at Sonic.
Oh,
I was
how?
absolute
Sonic
because
was like
I'm-
a faster Mario Brothers.
I'm terrible at Mario.
Oh, okay.
I'm
yeah,
so
that
bad.
tracks.
Like literally, I don't know what it is. It's like a
No
game that goes
side-scrollers
from,
for him.
Yeah, I'm absolutely god awful.
Those sky scrollers. If you gotta
Yeah.
go left to right, it's over for him.
That's it. That's it.
And then they messed up because in Sonic you can go back.
Yeah, exactly.
At least
That's-
in Mario, it was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, like
You passed this part, that's it.
like
We're not re-rendering this code.
Yeah, we're not going back.
We're not re-rendering this
Go
code.
forward.
Go
It's a,
back.
it's a meeting for life.
keep going, goddammit. God.
Moving forward.
For Patrick, no side to side.
Yeah, no, what you call
Yeah,
it, the
yeah.
dopest part about it was like, if you knew all the secrets and stuff, like the person that was playing Tails can like fly you up someplace.
Oh yeah.
Jump and grab on his hands, and he can fly you across the level. Like that was like next level advancements in the video game at the time.
Yeah.
And if you wasted time, Sonic would like.
Oh, he
start
would like
tapping his
look at
foot,
his watch and
look at
stuff.
his watch.
Like,
He'd give you that side eye.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
he
bro.
would.
What
He
we
would
doing?
be very. He was a
very
very
aggressive.
like
He was a very
impatient
animated man.
hedgehog.
Very aggressively impatient.
I like to think that like Sonic the Hedgehog went so fast because it was like that movie with Jason Statham, Crank, where he has like a bomb in him, and Sonic's just like, play the fucking game or I'm going to die. And you're like, good, chill, Sonic. I want to go get some high C and some like
Need some
Cheetos.
Ecto Cooler.
Yeah,
I
like,
forgot
what
about
are you
that.
doing?
Cooler. Wow.
Yeah.
Food coloring at its finest.
You know what wowed me about Sonic the first time I saw it was that was the first time in video game graphics where I saw that like sheen that like
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the shininess, especially when he's doing the
Yes.
spin dash.
Yes.
I was
Oh,
like,
the spin.
Yeah, that's so cool. These graphics are so high.
We're like, this is what pixels can do.
You didn't even know it's pixel because
Yeah.
just these graphics.
Yeah.
This is why I needed 16 bits. This is peak entertainment. It's never gonna get better than this. It is never gonna get better than this.
So we quickly ran out of whiskey.
We
We
did.
did. We powered.
Should we just open the next bottle and just try and save as much for the? How much do you need for your drink?
Literally, like, wait, am I making one for each of you?
Yeah, sure.
Because, yeah, 4. All right. Oh, God, you have enough.
All right,
We can make.
Plowed through it.
Yeah, we can make.
Well, there wasn't that much left.
Yeah, there was literally
one
three
drink.
glasses in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Wait, do we have a glass for Mario?
We do.
Mario,
It's-
you got it.
it's-
Mario, you got it. When you bring that over here, you do the honors.
Whoa.
All right, maybe don't have any. Grab your glass, and we got to pour out. And
Thank you. Thank you, off camera gentlemen.
What's the show where something back in the day where there was like one character that was just a hand. It was just like somebody's hand that would come in. It was like Nickelodeon or something.
Wienerville?
You mean, was it SpongeBob? Wasn't there like?
Oh, SpongeBob, yeah, has the like pick up and like move.
Is this clean or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're gonna
I
wanna
cleaned them
clean
all.
that. You're gonna want to clean that. Go
I
down.
cleaned them all.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
All 4?
all 4.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
You know what? Hold on a
No,
second.
it's a little dirty.
No whiskey for you.
This is
Go down to the
47.
slop sink in the hallway.
Soap?
We don't have any soap.
There's soap.
There's soap in the dispenser.
I'm sure the alcohol in there is gonna kill whatever germs.
Yeah, this is 47%.
All right. We'll take
Yeah.
a vote for this. Patrick, would you drink out of that, or would you give that like a?
We're for the people at home that can't see, we're currently looking at a glass that has a smudge in it to
would
see
drink out
if
of
we
that.
think Mario should drink out of it.
Yeah,
You're
I would
not
drink.
saying that.
Why don't
Yeah.
you just go like?
Germaphobe.
Oh,
So why don't you go
then
rinse it underwater?
I'm not a germaphobe.
Yeah. Yeah. And just make sure to wash it out completely.
So now we gotta wait for him to get.
That's all right. Well, no, we can start. We can pour, and then when he gets here, we can pour.
Okay.
Speaking of germaphobes,
So this means that Ryan needs to get sponges, right?
Well, we should have sponges here at the studio.
Sponges
in
and
general.
paper towels at Orchid House Studios.
From
But
what
if we
I've
had
seen-
sponges here,
Towels are hard because people would take.
people eat them,
Oh, okay.
and people will eat the.
God, I wish I could see somebody eating a paper towel. Like, you're just like, you come in, you're like, you should have been gone an hour ago. They're just like there, ripping off strips.
Can I ask Patrick a question now? Now that we're done with the weekend update.
You cannot. I did other stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I did other stuff, but
So what did you do?
I,
You tell us what you did, and I'll open this bad boy.
oh, thank you,
Yeah, and I will not interrupt this time.
thank you. That's very kind.
You better have something fucking good.
It's not. Well, no, it's good. I mean, like
You better have a story.
Tell him about the pigeons.
Oh yeah, no. Today I went to kind of a painting drawing session with a
today?
friend. Yeah.
I thought you said that was yesterday.
No,
I thought you
it's-
said that was yesterday.
No, it was earlier today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just I was traveling on the N and the G, so it felt like it was yesterday too.
Feels like I won't interrupt, and then I'm interrupting. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You notice why I was looking at you like that?
Go right ahead. Finish up, Patrick.
Thank you for moderating. Yeah, no, it was like everybody literally like was painting or drawing pigeons, and mine, I made a drawing of a pigeon.
Why?
Why not? It's
No, not you. Why were people painting and drawing pigeons?
because it was a thing.
Isn't it because Dom, your friend,
Yeah.
really likes?
Yeah, they like pigeons. They respect pigeons. I respect pigeons.
You,
know, like
I'm indifferent to pigeons.
they're hardy creatures. They've survived here. They do well. I saw a pigeon the other day. It had 1 foot. It was doing fine.
Had
It was
one foot.
1 foot.
That's because it's from New York.
It was-
and that's all it could afford. Couldn't afford a second foot.
It paid that foot for its rent. But yeah, my pigeon was
My pigeon.
a pigeon with a monocle and a smoking jacket
I'm gonna run out of whiskey.
and
Oh, we're good.
a book. And it was a very
Smoking
very-
jacket?
Yeah, it was a very studious little.
Can you draw? Are you a good drawer?
Yeah, I could draw.
A drawer.
Are you drawer?
An artist.
I can art.
You can art?
Yeah.
Nice.
I used to, when I was young, I used to draw all the time in school, and it was funny because most of my teachers would ignore me, but there was one teacher that really thought that they would like catch me not paying attention. And the problem for them was that I was paying attention. I was just actively doing something and passively paying attention and retaining stuff. So they asked me a question, and I didn't even look up. I just kept drawing, and I answered the question. And it was a moment where they're like, shit, like we
I can't
thought
catch
we
him on
caught
anything,
you.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I used to do it
Mario,
all the
come
time.
around this way behind the camera. So that I could pour you your drink.
You must say hello.
No. He's not. He's staying off camera. We don't need
Oh.
to know what Mario looks like. He is going to be the ghost of the podcast.
He's just a hand.
But god damn, what a sexy hand it is.
Look at that hand.
Look at you. We just saw a tip.
We just saw the tip, so
Yeah.
it looks like you just put your penis on camera real quick. Still
All right,
no.
put a cap on this so we can have enough for these cocktails later.
Yeah. Whoa! If you're gonna pour yourself a little bit more, I'm gonna pour myself a little bit more.
See, you see what I
So
started?
this is the last pour, and then we cut it off.
I poured you a lot. That's why I
Then
did
we're
that.
cut off until the drink part. Yeah. Put that on the floor. Put it away.
All right, this
Mario, you have enough.
You have enough, sir.
You have enough, Mario. Okay, I have a
Snickle
question
fist.
for Patrick.
go back and sit on the couch and just look so delicious.
Sit
over
in the
there.
dark.
Wow.
Sit
I
in
do
the
not
dark.
co-sign any of this dittiness.
There's no,
Oh, first of all, Mario, do you consent to me calling you delicious?
Yeah, exactly. You see how long,
You see the
that pause
pauses?
was?
Wow.
He still paused. Oh, boy.
He's not paused. He's loading.
He's loading what?
He's loading.
What
He's
load?
loading that punch and he's about to cock back.
That smile is a nonverbal agreement.
Yeah, that little coy
That's a
smile
nonverbal.
through that bushy.
Is he
bushy-
blushing?
You're being coy now too.
Yeah,
Dang
you're,
it.
You're being a Japanese fish.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at us.
Very nice.
That's so bringing
Okay.
it full circle. Anyway, you wanted it.
I wanted to ask Patrick a question since we have him here for a reason.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm just gonna beat up on him because we waited so long.
That's fine. He's here now. Patrick,
I am
as,
here now.
as someone who worked in the filming industry and as a writer-director, what's wrong with it? Why are all the movies that are coming out right now flopping horribly, except for like here and there? And what are your thoughts on AI? Go.
So, all right, AI is going to be the last one.
Yeah, no, take your time.
Because I have a
Yeah,
lot of
I'm
thoughts
sure.
on AI.
I'm so do I.
So, one of the big reasons you have thoughts on AI?
Yeah, and I disagree with you already, but continue.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
wow. Okay. This is this is good.
Heated.
This is a good thing. This is the kind of conversations that have to be had.
Okay.
About AI and stuff like that. Like there has, because I am in agreement that there is a time and the place for it, and there is a balance. But
That's not the argument I'm making. I still know I disagree with
Wow.
you.
Let's get through the why.
Yeah.
not-
Just go. Just go. Just go.
I look forward to hearing this.
Just
battle.
go.
it's gonna. All right, sharpen the knives because it's
a
about
rap
to
battle.
happen.
Ching ching.
Uh,
I didn't say stop. Don't do that. You're not gonna do that to me. I did not say that. Ching ching is the sound
That's okay.
that knives make.
All right, Wolverine.
Clink.
Clink. Clink is also a place. Same
In
with the
comic book,
goulash.
it was the schnick.
Isn't it a clink is also a prison?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a
Clink
Okay,
place.
makes
yeah.
that sound.
Clink. You're in the clink. My cousin is in the clink.
Yes, I'm sure you have a cousin in the clink.
It's- yeah.
Well,
doing a bit.
if we're gonna do stereotypes,
Just as
I do too. I guess.
on a comment about that, I had a cousin,
Who was in the clink?
who was murdered.
Oh yeah, this is.
Why did you? How did you say that with such a big smile on your face?
Okay,
There's
yeah.
that- no, but-
when you say it like that, yeah,
There's a Netflix special about it.
yeah. Well, I think it was A&E, but I think it's on Netflix.
It's on that. Well, okay, so
Yeah.
there was
Oh,
a.
it's on. Hey.
I can't get over the fact that you smiled that.
Yeah, right. You saw the
They never
smile.
did find the killer.
First of all, they did find the
I
killer. They
know,
knew
I know.
exactly.
It must have been like a. It must have been a.
20 seconds.
It was a second cousin.
Rewind, scroll back, and just pause it on
Nah, it was a second cousin.
the joy.
I'm not joyful that they got murdered.
Did you know them?
No,
No.
I don't.
See?
I don't actually think anybody in my family knew them personally. Well, no, that's a lie. My mom and dad probably did.
Did this happen before you were born?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's why.
yeah, or like right when I was like maybe 2 or 3.
In the 80s?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that was a crazy time.
it was a very crazy
80s
time.
were a crazy time in the air. You seen the shoulder pads, right? Like, just crazy time.
It was
in America.
insane. Like, big hair, big shoulder pads, big murder.
I can
but-
taste the soap that
Fucked
this
up
was.
film industry.
Yes.
Go.
So there's a few reasons why the industry right now is in a point of crisis. And the first and easiest one is admittedly the pandemic. And the reason for that
Still, even after all these years?
absolutely. So
We're still blaming the Ponderosa?
So here's the reason why the pandemic is still such an impact, or has still to this day an impact on the industry. It's because the film industry, it's very much like a freight train. If you stop it, it is going to take a lot to get it back up and going, because a lot of what we saw as success, like talk about like 2019 was such a great year for film and 2020 sucked. And it's like, but what we failed to look at is that a lot of the films that were successes in 2019 were the result of an absolute myriad of factors that came before it that led to those successes. And a lot of those factors were basically cut off in 2020.
Such as what?
So
You're going to have to give us a little bit more than that.
So the big thing is this, is the fact that the way that the industry works is that it works on mandates. So studios basically, I don't know if they do it quarterly or if they do it annually, but what studios basically do is they say, all right, so for this year, for fiscal 2025, we are going to be looking to make female-led projects. We're looking for horror films that are of this specific subgenre. We're looking for buddy comedies, and we're looking for sports biopics. And a lot of that is based on basically trends that they follow in the year before. In a lot of ways, it's almost like the stock market. They're watching trends as they're happening in real time, and they're trying to guess what the trend is going to be X amount of months later. Because the other thing, too, with the film industry is that to make a film, you could greenlight a project today and not release it realistically until the earliest, like, say, January 2026. Because you're going to have pre-production and production and post-production and a car horn. And
Wow, that guy is mad.
yeah. So, and that taking all that into account, so you have an industry that tries to predict what's going to be the next big thing, while also basically laying out frameworks, sometimes years in advance. And then a lot of it comes from basically how society is consuming media.
So could it also be a factor of, like, at least in my mind, this is what I think as someone who works semi in the industry as well, like, I feel like there's an oversaturation of the same kind of films over and over again, specifically things like the Marvel movies, and as a huge fan of all of these Star Wars movies, like, the big thing I hear a lot, there's no more original ideas, because we're getting so many sequels, reboots,
Remakes.
and this, and then also at the same time, the political climate and stuff like that.
So seeing the same thing over and over again, that comes from basically the idea that anything you make nowadays, especially if you are doing any kind of like large budget projects, one of the requirements is that it has to have effectively a built-in audience. And back in like the 80s, yeah, exactly. In the 80s, the industry would refer to that as franchise potential. The problem, though, is that we've already created all those franchises. Mm-hmm. So now, instead of taking a risk to create a brand new franchise, the studios would rather invest in repackaging what already has that brand recognition.
Like they made another Beetlejuice.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was good. It was,
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was a good time.
So I watch a lot of like content with like people that I grew up watching where they talk about their time in the industry. And I mean, for me, it's a lot of like black actors and stuff. And they'll be like, you know, the only reason we got this show is because another show was really successful and this network was like, well, we need one of those. You know, like we need a Cosby show. Okay, here's Family Matters.
Yeah.
We need Cosby show was great, but you know the kids are aging out. Okay, a different world. You know, and the vice versa. You know, we have Living Singles doing so well. We need a white version of this. Friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like so, like I thought that a lot of the industry was just a lot of like. This is working. We need to try to capture that same lightning in a bottle. Even if you watch, Robert Townsend in the 80s did a movie called Hollywood Shuffle. Mm-hmm. Great movie. There's a scene in the movie because if you remember 80s content, who's the biggest black celebrity in the 80s? Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, yeah.
Right? So there is a scene in the movie where the movie's basically about Hollywood and becoming an actor in Hollywood and Robert Townsend's experience along with Keenan Ivory Wayans. They were friends. They worked they were working the movie scene together back then, and they were working the audition scenes back then. And there was one scene where he's going to an audition, and then they're like, "Well, this is great, but can you do it like Eddie Murphy?" And then there's like a bunch of guys in leather jackets, a la Eddie Murphy Raw. Just kind of look like Eddie Murphy doing the Eddie Murphy loud talking in the movie thing, you know, like kind of like they were just like looking to do that thing. Do you think that that's a lot of what the movie industry is like right now?
Very much so. Except I don't think that the industry has that level of self-awareness that it did back then. And a lot of times nowadays it's because the industry itself is very much the major forces in the industry right now are people who are money people. And what I mean by that is that, think about this. Amazon just last week got they owned the distribution rights to James Bond.
Yep.
Now they have complete 100% creative control over James Bond.
And I'm just so curious about.
Amazon does now?
Amazon does.
Nice. We're gonna get Amazon packages with 007 tape.
Yes, you are.
Who owned it before?
The
MGM.
wife. No, I thought it was also the wife of the man who first wrote the James Bond.
No.
MGM had the studio.
Yeah, so MGM was a studio that owned and produced the Bond films from the beginning. MGM was they either went bankrupt or were on the cusp of bankruptcy, and they were
struggled for a long
purchased.
time.
Yeah,
They were at
purchased
Disney for a
by-
while too.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And they were purchased by Amazon.
Okay.
MGM was?
Yeah, and then so when James Bond was transferred over to Amazon, Barbara Broccoli, who is of the family, they were the producing family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her.
They basically were like, Amazon cannot do anything with the Bond franchise without their creative input.
Right.
And Amazon, yes, that was explicitly in their contract, is that Amazon couldn't just randomly say we're making a new James Bond starring this person. The Broccoli family had to have creative input.
Right.
And what happened was basically Amazon sat on the rights and didn't do anything with it, and there was kind of that conflict between the two invested parties to the point where a deal was struck recently where Amazon now has complete creative control. The Broccoli's and the other producer, I forget his name, they have no say in the franchise anymore.
Which I would love to know what that was, because I read so many articles about how she's like, I am never giving it to Amazon. So they either came in with more money than God, or
Which they have close to.
Yep.
or they have something. But it's also, I'm wondering, did this have anything to do with, you know how like Sony owns like Spider-Man and like I think they own for a while the Fantastic Four or whatnot, and they have to make a movie every few years or they lose the rights to it. Maybe it was something like that where they have to come to an agreement, or the Broccoli's or Amazon was going to lose 007.
So the way that it worked with that, it wouldn't be that case, because what you're describing with Spider-Man is the Spider-Man as a film franchise is effectively owned by Sony, and only within the film kind of environment, unless they don't make a film for X amount of time. And that's very common for studios to have those sort of agreements on their big characters. Is back in the day, you would effectively lease out your character to a studio.
And Marvel was struggling back then.
Yeah. And so with the James Bond franchise, to me, it sounds like it sounded like that there was probably some kind of like that Amazon was going to probably do some sort of 007 adjacent project specifically to try to make money off of the franchise, but that would probably have damaged the franchise, at least in the eyes of the Broccoli's.
Yeah.
And that's why the agreement was struck of, okay, like, make a new film and don't do, because there was rumors that they were going to do like a side story 007, that they were going to produce like a 007 as a teenager like
James
TV
Bond
series.
Jr.?
I love that cartoon show.
James Bond Jr.
That was a cartoon show.
Yeah.
James Bond Jr.
know that.
Yeah, that was like
James
the
Bond
90s.
Jr.
Remember back in the
No
90s how
way.
like literally everything
was a cartoon.
A cartoon, the Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Spider-Man, James Bond, Men in Black.
Men in Black, I remember that one.
Beetlejuice. Everybody had one.
That's right. Wow.
MC Hammer had a cartoon.
Didn't Martin
Really?
have a cartoon too?
No, Martin didn't have a cartoon, but MC Hammer had a cartoon.
I didn't know that.
Also, did you
Yeah,
watch
it was
one?
called Hammerman.
No way.
He was a superhero, and his his secret identity was he was a barber, Stanley, and then he would save the world. We put on his magic shoes that talked, and then he would like turn into Hammerman, and he would go on adventures, and then when he was fighting the bad guy, his shoes would do magic stuff, and he would dance, and then the Fly Girls would come out and dance next to him. Go Hammer, like while he's fighting. While he's fighting.
We need that original.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that original stuff back.
Yeah.
We're brave enough to put stuff like that on.
Yeah. MC
Also-
Hammer had a cartoon, bro.
That okay? I'm looking that up because
Also-
that sounds
Hammerman.
that sounds
Hammerman.
Do you
fantastic.
think that Golden Girls was based off of 112?
112.
Wasn't that the show? Apartment 112?
What, 227?
227, that's it.
112 is the music group that's named after a strip club.
227, yes.
Actually, I think it's just a club. I don't think it's a strip club. I think it's a club in Atlanta, Room 112.
It was either Designing Women or the Golden Girls. Sorry, I know I just completely...
No. We're all over the map because I wanted to ask. I really wanted to ask after you was talking you went on that long soliloquy about James Bond. I was waiting to ask: is James Bond the name of the person, or is it the name of, or is it the title?
Of the undercover person?
Yeah,
Yeah, like a
it's
collective.
Because like Triple X was his name, and then when his character died, and now Triple X is a title.
Yeah.
So in the first movie, it was Triple X, and then in the next one it was Ice Cube was
Riddick?
Triple X. He was Riddick, yeah.
Ice Cube was Triple X?
Ice
Yeah,
Cube was
dude, you
Triple
don't
X.
remember that?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
State
I
of the
don't
Union.
remember
Triple
that
X
one.
State of the Union.
I also don't remember Triple X dying in the movie.
He didn't die,
Oh,
but
he, like,
didn't-
retired?
But Vin Diesel didn't come back for the next movie,
He went to do Riddick.
and yeah, he probably did Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah.
Chronicles, that was a
Yeah.
good movie.
He did Pitch Black first, and
Yeah.
then did Chronicles.
Well,
of Riddick.
yeah, Pitch Black, not Pitch Perfect.
For that out of his own pocket?
The first one? Oh, I think like the
With all the
Yeah.
Street Sharks money.
dude. He must have been
Street
rolling.
Sharks. He was the voice on Street Sharks.
No,
He
he
did the
was
Street
the
Sharks
he was the toy
commercial.
promoter.
Yeah.
like in the toy, like in the videos. Like, yo,
okay.
this is
Oh, dude, you never seen?
Johnny Shark, and he's got a big fist. It was great.
Yeah, he was also on those Learn to Breakdance VHS tapes in the 80s.
He also is Fingers in The Fifth Element. Remember when Bruce Willis first wakes up?
Oh,
he's
when he
on-
calls, yeah,
when he calls
on the
in
phone,
his
yeah.
apartment, and on the phone.
That's Vin Diesel on the phone.
Vin Diesel in The Fifth Element.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
best movie ever.
Dude, the Fifth Element.
Fifth Element is such a
fantastic.
fantastic movie.
See, we need, that's what I'm saying about originality. We need movies like
Jean-Luc
Yep.
Pon-
the costume design.
Luc Besson.
Luc Besson, yeah.
Yep.
That's not the same guy that did Moulin Rouge, right?
No, it's he did Leon the Professional.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, with Jean Reno.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
movies like that don't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Is there a
Yep.
reason? I know we were kind of getting to that, but like, is there a reason we're not seeing things
Yeah,
like
Nobody's
The
taking
Professional?
risks. And then honestly, the, people
Boondock
that, the
Saints.
movies that people are taking risks with, nobody goes to see.
Yes.
Because there's nobody in them. And then we're like, how did this movie win an Oscar?
Yep.
Yeah, but you still have movies like that, like The Holdovers, Long Legs. Holdovers almost won an Oscar,
It won Best Original.
but it did
Screenplay.
have Paul Giamatti in it. So
Did. And we know how big of a box office draw Mr. G is.
that sexy lazy eye of his.
He
That
looks-
sexy lazy eye.
Paul Giamatti looks like what would happen if you took like Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog, and made him into a human. Like, I want to make a Groundhog Day. That's my pitch, is to remake Groundhog's Day, but it's not actually about the original Bill
Not
Murray.
about Phil
It's about
Connors,
yeah,
it's
it's about Paul Giamatti playing Punxsutawney Phil, and he's fed up. He's done with this whole predicting the winner shit.
I
and
want a Rhino movie with Paul Giamatti.
we were robbed.
We were
were
fucking
robbed.
robbed.
Movie?
Yeah,
He was
Amazing
in
Spider-Man
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Or was it 2 or 1? 2. He played Rhino for 0.2 seconds.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
In a big suit with a terrible Russian accent.
Oh,
And then they finally...
That was,
That was
Paul Giamatti, dude.
And they finally made a comic accurate Rhino, and they put it in the Morbius movie. Oh no, the Craven movie.
Oh, yep, Craven. The
Sony
Manhunter.
versus
They
movie.
did a comic accurate Bebop and Rocksteady.
In,
Oh yeah, I was
The-
thinking about the Transformers.
in the Michael Bay produced?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right.
That's right.
They did
Bebop
a
and
comic accurate
Rocksteady.
one.
I think I only saw the first one of those.
Which I believe were both breakdance crews. Names. Rocksteady's definitely a breakdance crew from New York, and I think Bebop was the fake. So when Rocksteady crew was one of the bigger crews out of New York. They were in Flashdance. They were in Beat Street. They were in a bunch of different things. And then because the crew was so big, they didn't need to bring another crew in to battle them. So what they would do is when they were on tour and they performed for the Pope and they would perform for the I think '84 Olympics,
Damn.
they split the crew in half. And half of the crew was Rocksteady crew, and the other half, I think, was something else. I think it
Well,
was
isn't
Bebop.
bebop just a term for breakdancing?
No, Bebop is not. Bebop is the term for a type of chatting in music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Hollywood.
So AI. Tell us about AI.
What are your thoughts on AI in the film? We've talked a lot about this offline.
Go.
All right. I do not like the use of AI in places like the writer's room. I don't like it in like story development, things of that nature. And the reason why I don't like it is that, to me, one of the most human things that we have in terms of expression is the ability to create stories. And the thing is that the mindset with AI is that, oh, well, it is creating stories. But what we do as humans is we create stories based on experiences. And the experiences that we have inform that creative process in a way that AI can't do, because AI, all that it is doing is it's taking, an entire, internet's database worth of films, and it's going, oh, you asked me to write an action film. Here's 200,000 action movies. I'm going to steal a little piece from all of those and create something. Whereas if you tell me, like, a great example of this is Star Wars. So Star Wars exists because of the films that George Lucas watched when he was a kid. Indiana Jones exists because of the serialized kind of adventure stories that they watched and read as kids. So same concept. I'm taking something that already exists and then creating something new, but the excitement and the nostalgia and the childlike wonder that created those characters came from the experience that they had viewing that stuff for the first time. You can't teach an AI system to feel wonder for watching Alien for the first time.
So
Oh, boy.
no. This is why I disagreed with you. This is so okay. I have to clear something. Is your fear that AI is going to be used in the writing room?
It already is.
Yeah.
No,
already
I'm
is.
saying, but as a replacement,
Absolutely.
it's not. It will be for like a year or two, and then it's going to quickly become apparent that AI is not a good solution for movies. So I think that we have to kind of like weather that storm. I think that what's going to happen is if you fight it up front,
Yes.
that means you're validating AI.
I 100% agree with. That's
You're
that's a good way to look at
validating
it.
AI
Yes.
if you fight it up front, because you're saying like, yes, they can create.
Yeah.
But in reality, you should be like, yeah, okay, sure, go ahead, use it, see what happens. And then what they're going to realize is what it's doing is it's a learning model, and it can only give you what it knows. So
Yep.
like what you said, it's going to take information that it has and then regurgitate some mishmash of a story based on the parameters that you wrote out for it.
Yes.
So you still need someone to come up with the idea for it to write around.
Yes.
So the first few years that AI becomes a part of the writing room, it's going to be like, oh, this is amazing. We don't need to hire this person. And then they're going to start seeing the reviews. They're going to start seeing the disconnect. They're going to start seeing the fact that it's not working. And then they're going to clamor back towards the writers.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
Answer that, and then I have a question.
You actually, what you just described there has happened already, not in on the film and writing area of things, but it's happened in photography and image creation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I was going to get to was, and we can talk about that too, because I have opinions on that as well. But the one thing I scratches my head is we just went through this summer a writer's strike, and I believe an actor's strike too.
Yeah.
They partnered with
That was this summer or last summer?
It was
2024, right? 2023.
no,
Writer's
it's
strike was
2024.
23.
23. Yeah, because
Writer's strike was 23 because I was still working at Showtime at the time.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But we just went through all that. We got through it. We came to terms and everything. Yet, wasn't one of the terms that we worked through was not having AI as much into the film industry?
Yeah, it was they agreed something to the effect of like AI systems cannot be used in the writing process, and I believe there's several other areas that it cannot be used. And then there's an agreement in place where I think it's 3 or 6 years, however long the contracts are for,
revisit it.
that they could revisit it.
But I'm guessing then, because it has nothing to do with the writers, but there have been a lot of films coming out lately, good ones, The Brutalist, Late Night with the Devil, that have put AI elements into their films.
Yes.
How are they doing? Didn't we just go through a whole thing where we said keep that stuff out, and now are the studios just being like, fuck you, we don't give a shit what you think, we're gonna do it anyway?
A lot of it is that they're working within gray areas. So like with if it's something like a special effect or something like that, which the reason why special effects they can do that is because out of every major group of people,
They're not
that
unionized, right?
they are. I think that they have something that kind of like a union. They definitely don't have a guild, but they are woefully underpaid. They are overworked, even within an industry where overworking is the standard.
Yeah.
They are overworked to absolute crushing degrees, and so those shortcuts have been used. And again, another thing too, like you talk about, like why original films aren't a thing anymore. Most of it is because to create something as simple as like a special effect in a film, and like say a 20-second VFX shot, like studios they're not willing to pay for that, especially if it's a product that doesn't have built-in franchise potential.
And that's why a lot of people are even saying now, like you look at CGI 10, 15 years ago, it's better than it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 10, 15 years ago, they had to try to work the CGI into stuff that they shot. Now, they're relying too much on CGI. So what's going to happen is we're going to have, this is like with anything, the pendulum has swung one way, and it's going to eventually swing back, and then we're going to go back to, like it's with everything. Even with like, why is analog photography making a comeback?
Why do I have a cassette player over there?
Why
that
does he have a cassette player?
And it always swings
why
back.
is vinyl records making a
And it is.
resurgence?
I mean, look at like what Christopher Nolan is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at what I'm not really good with directors' names, but there's a lot of movies that are coming out. There's something that's coming out. Well, like I didn't see it, but like Wicked really relied a lot on practical effects.
Well, look at the Alien Romulus.
That's it. Yeah.
Like the Fede Alvarez, the director, when he pitched it, he was like, "No, I'm using practical effects." And the reason to both your points, you're absolutely right. Like, and here's where to me, what you said about AI, what you just said about visual effects, the reason why there is still, for me and for I think a lot of creatives out there, hope. The people that have the biggest power to change this are audiences.
Yes.
When audiences reject the bullshit, half-assed kind of slop that a studio throws at them, and because there's kind of like this mindset that audiences, they're dumb and they'll just like consume anything that we put Jason Momoa in it and put him in a pink jacket and make him fight a fucking
Minecraft
pig. Like, and the thing is that film is an industry that you are rewarded or you are outcast based on the box office sales. Like, the audience is going to tell you whether they think you're worth a shit.
Yeah. And I think that's becoming even more apparent nowadays. And I don't know. I think like Phil, like you were saying, like the pendulum's going to swing back. I think there may be a
absolutely.
time where we get too close to it, but then people are going to be like, I don't want to see this.
Right now, like we're
We saw an example of this with Godzilla.
yeah.
-1.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
Did they spend on that film?
I think,
So
like,
when it comes to these digital solutions, we're about to hit the Icarus phase. They're gonna fly way too close to the sun, and then it's gonna be like fuck, and they're gonna fuck a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of people losing their jobs. Like right now, in so many industries, including the fucking government, there's so much like reliance on technology with people who are using the technology and making decisions that don't know about the work that they're litigating or making decisions over. So like the problem with the entertainment industry is most of the people that are making the decisions in the entertainment industry, and I deal with this one in the music end, not directly but indirectly, is those people that make those decisions, they're not artists.
Yes.
So a long time ago music-wise, right? And then after I get off my soapbox after this, right?
If you want, I can get you an apple box over there.
Nah, I'm
Stand
good.
on it.
So,
Pass one around.
So when music, right? For a long time, music was ran by musicians.
Yeah.
Perfect example is Motown Records. Motown Records was ran by Smokey Robinson and more importantly, Berry Gordy. Both of those guys were musicians. Both of the guys wrote music. Both of the guys sang music. So they understood what it took to make a hit. They were writing these hits for these music. They know who to put these artists around to get them to sing. They know who to put the artists around to get them to walk right and talk right in interviews, all that stuff to get them to be a product. And they will, Motown Records still to this day is probably one of the most important showcases in black independence that we have in America, right?
Yeah.
Then what happened to the record label? The record labels went from being ran by people who were musicians themselves to being ran by people who have the business degrees.
Yep.
So now my focus is on making money. And the business of business at the end of the day is making more money than I made yesterday.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out how to do that. Okay, and this goes back to my comment before. That show's on fire.
Yep.
We need one of those. That artist is on fire. We need one of those. How do we recreate this? How do we make another one of these? Well, you got Boys to Men. Well, we need High Five.
No, Blackstreet.
Blackstreet was a little bit later.
Love Blackstreet. No diggity, no doubt.
Yeah, but Blackstreet came out of like Color Me Bad, and there was like 4 different groups that Teddy Riley was in charge of before Blackstreet.
Oh.
Yeah, so like you're right, but it was like Blackstreet was like the culmination of Blackstreet by that point, because after Blackstreet there were very few R&B groups that just kind of fizzled out because the market was so saturated.
Would we consider Bone Thugs and Harmony R&B, or was that more rap?
It's a hip hop group.
It's a hip hop.
But
That video scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Crossroads?
Yeah, when they
Really?
have you ever seen that video?
Yeah.
Oh, when the guy goes and puts his hand on their head and their eyes just go black because he sucks. I was terrified.
Yeah, the Grim Reaper.
Man.
Yeah, the Morpheus looking guy.
I still to this day miss this dude's Uncle Charles, and I don't even know Uncle Charles.
I don't know what that is.
That's in the song. I miss my Uncle Charles.
Okay, gotcha.
Still to this day.
I used to think that one of the guys in Boyz II Men was blind because he
You wore sunglasses all the time.
he did this. He did the Ray Charles head bob.
No, that's how you know you're singing good.
I know.
That's how you know you either do this or you do this.
Just yeah. Just letting. I love Boyz II Men so much. They were great.
All right, we gotta get these cocktails made. 'Cause
I
we're
know.
running out of liquor.
So let's end on this.
No. He has a point. Because his pointer's out.
Got his,
Yeah.
he has his pointer finger out. He's got his pointer finger out. Oh, and we bring it all back.
Oh, look at
And
that.
that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you go full circle.
That is poetic resonance, fellows. That's in film. That's where you end on You like in writing they always say
Chekhov's gun, right?
well, a Chekhov's gun is when you have something in a film that you show and you explicitly call it out, and you have to have it be utilized to effect in the story.
Right.
Point
your finger.
So
Point your
with
finger.
this, it's like the opening image and closing image was always a big thing in writing, and it's because you want them to be you want to show change in the film. So your opening image should be an antithesis of your closing image. So, but on to close it out though, on your point and what you were saying about like why it is that we're in the state that we're in the industry, it is exactly that. It's exactly what you described with the music industry. It's that your studios and even going so far as like below the studios, you had a time where producers were folks that worked in the industry on their way up. Now you have like Amazon being in control, creative
Apple
control
TV.
of yeah. So and the problem with it is
You don't
exactly
have
that.
creatives in charge of
Yes.
decision making.
You don't have. It's like somebody who's never been a cook being in charge of a kitchen.
Yeah.
They can make you something that is more or less edible, but is it going to be tasty? And
No
you're going to
chef.
tell your friends about it? Yeah, exactly. So you're right. Like the way that the industry changes is we have audiences continue to tell people that are creating crappy shortcuts that we are rejecting their bullshit, and we get back to allowing creatives to have more control.
The problem, though, is that the longer they do this for, the more they whittle away
Yes.
the fact that the audience knows that it's crap.
Yeah.
So, and I akin this to hip hop music. As a hip hop fan, there was a period in hip hop music where your word choice, your wordplay, your ability to paint a picture, all of that mattered in hip hop music. But because the people that are in charge of how hip hop music is released are not of the culture, they don't care.
Yeah.
A lot of that has whittled away, and then every generation that comes up, they don't have an example of, like what it should sound like.
That is true.
So like when like in the 90s, a lot of the 90s hip hop artists like were given like a pat on the back by 80s hip hop artists. In the early 2000s, same thing. By the mid aughts to the late 2010s, it was just kind of like, what is this shit? Because by that point, they'd had already figured out the hip hop
Algorithm.
they already figured out
go.
the cocktail. What's the recipe?
Yeah.
All right, we just need this, we need this, we need this, and then we don't need to kind of adhere to any kind of rules. And then the people that are in charge, are just there to make money.
Yeah, it's the most dangerous thing to
Art.
Art is the commoditizing of it. Art shouldn't be a formula. Like it shouldn't be. And you said it exactly best. It shouldn't be a fucking algorithm. It shouldn't be something.
I say smart
that
things sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you're right on it. It shouldn't be something that somebody who, like you said, Phil, that has no experience in the kind of creative environment that they're selling to people, doing that when they're just like, I figured it out. I found the secret formula, and I could replicate it with no matter who is in front of me. That is how you get a homogenization of art, and it becomes stale.
Why do you think music? If we're talking about music, why do you think the music has the same 4 bars in every song? Like it's the same. Music is the same key, the same 4 notes, and the same 4 bars in every song, because you have several producers that know the hit song formula, and then they just crank it out.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's like Ryan, you and I have talked about. Why is it that we were just talking about it the other day. Why is it that every film looks exactly the same? Mm-hmm. Why is it that we have trailers that show you everything?
Yeah.
Everything. The whole movie. Why am I going to see the movie? I know what the first act is. I know what the second act is.
Yep.
I know the third act, they got to redeem themselves and then triumph.
Yeah.
And then it's over.
Yeah, like
That's why I like Christopher Nolan. His trailers, I don't know what's happening.
No, it's just
That's 'cause
it's just
he loves
Superman.
that.
All you
Loves
know is
that,
the
yeah.
movie's about Superman. He's flying. Okay, great. You showed me
Yeah.
the one thing that we know Superman does.
I do have hope for the new Superman movie. I also
don't.
do have hope.
I didn't like
for,
I don't like the way this guy looks. Guy,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't like it. He doesn't look like he has a strong chin.
you've seen like the Teamer memes where they show like Henry Cavill and they show Wish.com and it's the James Gunn movie.
Yeah, no, seriously. You know when you go.
I love the color palette though.
Yes, I see that. But I feel like, well, you know what this Superman looks like to me? It's like when you go to like Spirit Halloween, and you get the superhero costume and the guy in the picture.
Yeah.
That's what this one
Spider-
looks like. And it
Spider
hurts me
person.
because I grew up as Superman as being my favorite superhero.
Well, that's a.
It's what?
That's what. It was not. Yes, it wasn't Black Panther. Yes, it wasn't Blade. It was Superman as a kid.
Is it because of Shaq?
Is it? No, it wasn't because of Shaq.
I have high hopes for that film, and I have high hopes for Fantastic Four.
Who's they're making Fantastic Four?
Again.
Yeah, but they're doing it right this time.
Again. Sorry.
Who are they casting?
Pedro Pascal is Mr. Reeds.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know who the female.
it's gonna be
It's
Pedro Pascal is gonna be Richard Reed.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
And
some,
the guy
this is gonna
from
be some woke
Stranger
shit.
Things, Eddie from Stranger Things,
It's gonna be
is
some woke shit.
Yeah,
It's gonna be some woke shit. That's gonna be the commentary because Pedro Pascal is.
no. Everybody loves Pedro Pascal.
Everybody loves him, but at the same time, his name is Pedro. So
I know.
Ryan.
let's act like we know what country we live
Yeah,
in, bro.
Yeah, but look at the second Fantastic Four. They had Michael B. Jordan.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But Ryan, that was a different time.
That's true.
Because I guarantee, guys,
yeah.
who wants to take a poll right now that how many comments online after Fantastic Four comes out is going to reference Pedro Pascal and Ice?
Nobody
Yep.
cared.
God.
Nobody cared that what you call Kingpin was black in Daredevil.
Well,
That's
Chris,
very true.
who's that actor?
Mark Clark Duncan.
It was fantastic.
Doesn't matter. He's black. It's some woke
Yep.
shit from the 2000s, from 2002.
Well, yeah.
Think about it.
I know.
Think about it. Let's be honest.
It's-
Like, do we really care, or we care right now because that's what we're talking about?
See,
Not you, not us. I'm saying, you know.
that right there, that is an entire conversation about what elements outside of the industry are causing damage to the industry. And one of the biggest elements right now is the element of the toxic fandom. And there's elements of kind of like hey, you know, like be a fan of something.
Star Wars.
Yeah, seriously, like be a fan of something and have criticisms.
Didn't John
But- Yes.
Boyega get a lot of shit because he
We
was
talked a lot
Yes.
about
Yeah.
that because
he was a clone, or he was wearing the suit or something?
No.
like that?
But the big thing with John Boyega that everyone always talks about, and we talked about too, was when they put out the promotional stuff here. He's in the trailers and the posters. Go to China, nowhere to be seen.
Yes.
They did it with
Black
Captain
Panther.
America. They did it with
too.
Black Panther.
Which is
yeah.
the crazy part because the movie takes place in Africa, fake Africa, but in Africa.
Yeah. Also, it was
Wakanda
also
forever.
It was also a hit in China.
What?
So like
the Star Wars movie?
yeah, actually.
Oh, okay.
So that's the thing that's weird too is that like Chinese state government is like let's show a very specific.
The interviews
thing.
that I saw were in Korea. Korea were the ones that had a hard time accepting like black protagonists.
Interesting.
Yeah. And if you look at, we can get into it. We're already at Joe Rogan time length.
We still got to do a
and we still got to
cocktail.
just mix
How
it
long
Bud
do you
Light.
usually go?
An hour.
Until we're tired.
Yeah.
Usually like an hour and a half. So let's.
We're at 120.
Oh wow! Let's put this on the. Let's put
a button
let's
on
put
it.
in a button on.
Yeah,
it.
there we go.
So why don't we just end it right here before we get too deep
Yeah,
into the
yeah, I was gonna
Wakanda
open up a
forever?
whole nother book.
You were about to open up a
Yeah,
whole
I was
another
I was gonna say, dude,
2-hour book.
You're about to pop another bottle.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go
into
buy
shit.
more. We're gonna have to send
Yeah,
Mario out
to
for
get another
more.
bottle.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We're gonna go get Mario. Go get us some sleeping bags and some. We're staying the night.
Doing this
you get us
tomorrow
some
morning.
cappuccinos?
Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put a button on this. This has been a great conversation. We'll probably have Patrick back to do more
We have to. Stop banging
conversation
the
about
table.
this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was banging the table. But what we're gonna do now is Patrick is crafted as a mixologist. I almost said coxologist.
A coxologist.
A mixologist. Cocktails. A
Is that what you
mixologist.
do? Is that what
I
you
make
do on the weekends?
cocktails.
He makes
That's-
cocktails.
That is my
He's
weekend.
got quite the
Just as long as you
extensive.
make sure the cock is yours.
You gotta. That's how he stirs the drink.
I know. Earlier we were talking about consent. So long as somebody says yes,
Someone
like
says yes, and looks you in the eye.
yeah, adults are adults.
Patrick is going to make a cocktail, a hipster and homeboy cocktail for us.
Yes, and there won't be any Hennessy in it.
There won't
I
be
know
no
how
Hennessy.
y'all think.
Yeah.
I know.
So we're going to put a button in this right now, and then we're going to get to, we're going to go over to our other studio, our kitchen studio, and make a cocktail for us to all drink.
Yes, Rachel Ray style. So until next week,
You don't
drinks
have any.
up.
You put all your drinks up. Cheers. Thanks for coming on, Patrick.
Yeah,
We'll have you on again for sure.
for having me.
Can't toast on
Oh, that's
It's
true.
bad luck.
There's a bottle down there.
No, it's all right. I don't need it.
No, we're going to save that. So
leave
let's
it
cut
at
over to the cocktail now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna make the Hipster and Homeboy cocktail. Since we're gonna be using bourbon, because that was the drink that was enjoyed in the show, we're gonna be making a cocktail using bourbon. So first of all, I'm gonna go through the ingredients here really quick. So we have bourbon. You could use any bourbon that you want. I am not one of those people that is like, you have to use a specific kind. If it tastes good for you, if you enjoy it, drink it. Like, I'm not gonna tell somebody to get something super expensive, because you don't need something super expensive, because this is a mixed cocktail. And it is a cocktail that is gonna be using citrus. We have lemon juice, fresh squeezed. Please do yourself a favor. Do not buy juice in a bottle, put juice in a bottle. Squeeze it yourself, do yourself the favor of the flavor, and juice your own citrus, or any fruit for that matter. The reason why I mentioned that in terms of what kind of bourbon or any alcohol that we're using is because a lot of cocktails that use citrus actually are Prohibition era cocktails. The reason why citrus was used was because back in Prohibition times, it was very hard to get good quality alcohol, because turns out when you're trying to get alcohol from all around the world and you can't sell or import it, it's really hard to get good stuff. So people would make their own alcohol, and a lot of times it was absolutely terrible. So a lot of bartenders back in the Prohibition times started to use citrus and other mixers to kind of hide the lack of quality in their alcohol. So if you're making a mixed cocktail and it has citrus in it, if you're using something that is a little bit less expensive, don't feel bad, because that's not the point. The point is to make something that tastes good and to give you that happy feeling that that cocktail gives you. So the third ingredient that we have is creme de cassis. It is a liqueur that is made from black currants. It is sweet. It is absolutely delicious on its own. The main cocktail that this is used in is called a Kir Royale. That's probably the most famous one. Simple 2-ingredient cocktail, creme de cassis, and basically sparkling wine. You can use Prosecco or champagne. And then we have our other mixings, which is simple syrup. Every single bar should have simple syrup. If you don't have it, make it. It is very easy to make, which is why it's called simple syrup. Equal parts sugar and water, boil it, and that's it. And then the last one is our bitters. We're using Angostura bitters because not only is it probably one of the most famous bitters that are out there, but it's a little bit more kind of spicy of a bitter, which is perfect for this cocktail because we're gonna have sweet, sour, your bourbon, and then you want something that kind of cuts through all that noise. So without further ado, we're gonna make this cocktail really simple. You're gonna want a cocktail shaker. Ooh, that's melty ice. Fill it up with some ice. You're gonna do 2 ounces of your bourbon. Is this a screw off? It is a screw off. I thought that that was a cork. All right, so we're gonna do 2 ounces. Mine has some interesting measurements on it. So if you have one of the ones that's 2 ounces on one side and 1 ounce on the other, just use whichever you have. Then we're going to do 1 full ounce of our fresh squeezed lemon juice. All right, and then a 1/2 ounce of creme de cassis. This is going to give it an absolutely beautiful color. And then a 1/2 ounce of our simple syrup. All right, and then just a couple of dashes of bitters. I am the kind of person that you'll see recipes for things, they'll say like, oh, use 2 dashes, 1 dash. Screw that. Put in as much as you like. I love the taste of bitters. I think it's fantastic. If you're only going to do 1 and it gets lost in everything else, what's the point of you even having it in there? So I like to do 3 healthy dashes just because I like to have that aromatic sort of flavor just pop inside of that. And that's it. The nice thing about this cocktail is that, as you can see, really simple. Any cocktail really is just about ratios. You start with whatever is going to be your main attraction, which is your whiskey, your vodka, your gin. You're going to want something that gives it a little bit of interesting flavor. A lot of times it's a liqueur. It could be another whiskey. It could be another, type of alcohol. Think of like a martini, vodka, gin, dry vermouth, a Manhattan bourbon, sweet vermouth, and then bitters. So it's just a ratio game. And the thing that I think is fantastic about these kinds of cocktails is it's up to you. Experiment, have fun with it. That's kind of the great thing about making drinks, is that you don't have to. It's not baking a cake. If you add a little bit more of one thing or the other, it's not going to ruin it. Hell, it might even make something completely new and different. Experiment, it's fun, and you get to drink it at the end. So that's the best thing about it. So what you're going to do after you have all your ingredients in the cocktail shaker, just give it a shake. One thing about shaking, a lot of people have a tendency to go really, really hard with like shaking their cocktails. Realistically, you don't want to do that. You don't want a lot of flakes to come off. That dilutes the drink. The idea is to basically do a motion that kind of rolls the ice inside of it. You want it to get it chill. You don't really want a whole lot of flakes inside of it. You see like a lot of bars, people will be like shaking it like crazy. That's great. It's a really great way to get something cold fast. If you're making it at home, do yourself the favor, just take some time. You want it chill, you don't want to dilute it. So we're just going to give it a little bit of a shake here. All right, and basically when it comes to shaking, the rule of thumb is usually like 20 to 30 seconds. I like to do it as basically if your fingers start getting cold when you're holding it, it's done. It's metal. It's going to tell you when it's good to go. All right, we're going to pop this guy off. Now, usually this kind of a cocktail, like any cocktail, if you are serving it in a glass like this, a rocks glass, or sometimes they call it like a lowball glass or something like that, you're gonna want to put some kind of ice in it. You'll see a lot of times people will put like giant cubes, spheres of ice. You could even put like little ice cubes if you want to. It's realistically kind of an aesthetic thing. Also, the idea of having any kind of ice in your drink is that over time, the ice will melt a little bit. It'll dilute the drink slightly. That allows you to drink multiple cocktails over the course of an evening. Right now, I don't have any giant ice cubes. Otherwise, I would definitely put one in here and to raise that line of our cocktail a little bit higher, give it that nice finished look. Right now, I don't have those, so we're just going to drink it straight up. You'll also hear anytime there's something that doesn't have ice in it, or if you're drinking anything that has just whatever alcohol it is, like if I'm ordering just a bourbon and I don't want ice in it, I don't want it mixed with anything, I'm going to order it neat or straight up or up. That is just, you want that, you want it in a glass, and you want it right now. Easiest way if you're at a bar and you want a quick drink and you know exactly what you want and don't want any fixings with it, order it neat and enjoy it. But this right here, this is the Homeboy and Hipster Cocktail.
Right around.
Hipster and Homeboy Cocktail. My apologies.
How'd you come up with the idea?
So, came up with the idea for this. Like most cocktails, for me, it is the beginning. The beginning is always what kind of alcohol is going to be the star of the show. A good way to think of it is you're looking at your bar, you have whiskey, you have gin, you have cognac. You're like, okay, I want one of those for this show. Bourbon is something that has shown up in the past. Ryan and I have really enjoyed bourbon ever since I basically have known him. I think the first time I met Ryan was showing up at a party with a bottle of bourbon and somebody saying, hey, nobody here drinks that except for my friend Ryan, who's outside. Exactly. That is a great way to meet people.
Shout out Rick and Sherry.
Shout out Rick and Sherry. Brilliant party. I don't know if it was the Super Bowl party. If it was, it's fantastic. I believe that was the party that I gave Rick a nice little award, and he wore orange and blue streamers. It was beautiful, and just like sharing some kind of alcohol with a new friend. So it started with a base. I wanted to make something that has bourbon in it, but I wanted something that had a little bit of uniqueness to it. The whole idea of this cocktail was to make something that gave us that, like punchy bourbon taste first, but bourbon is strong on its own. You want to cut it with something a little bit more subtle, maybe something that kind of takes the edge off a little bit of our hard liquors, and that is where creme de cassis came in. I got a bottle of this from a friend of mine. We were making Kir Royales, and the next night I wanted to make something different. This kind of an idea popped up. Bourbon is a great alcohol to mix with something like a creme de cassis, a nice sweet liqueur. So the idea was to create something that is both a reference to, a favorite drink of mine, a favorite drink of Ryan's, kind of a hearkening back to how it is that we met, but also giving it a little bit of a twist. New York is a city that absolutely is known for cocktails, and a lot of the times the things that makes or break a cocktail isn't just that liquor that's in it, but also what's mixed with it. So decided to go something unique with the creme de cassis, and then just like an old fashioned, finished it off with simple syrup and bitters. And it is delicious, it is sweet, and you guys are gonna come in and join me.
Yes, I am. We're going to come on over and we're going to try this, the Hipster and Homeboy drink right here. I'm going to do the first, Phil, if that's okay with you. You want to go? You want to go first? Do you want to go first?
I would like to go first.
Okay, all right. I'll let you go first. I want to hear your genuine reactions from this. Get into the camera. We want to see your beautiful face.
Man.
Look at that. He's taking it in.
Nice.
He's smelling it.
Lovely. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah?
That's my kind of cocktail.
Okay, let me try it. I want to try a little bit of it. Let me see. I'm going to do the sniff test.
You got to do the whole open.
Oh, that's nice. That's one of those kind of like drinks that you would get at a cocktail bar, and after 4 of them, you'd be gone and you wouldn't even know, because it's like one of those drinks where it's so sweet you don't even really taste.
Yeah, there's enough of everything else in there.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like this a lot. This is good. I think you're gonna have to make a couple more for us. We gotta make one for Mario, our camera guy over here.
Round of applause for that.
Round of applause. Yeah. There we go. The
I
Mister.
see the smile.
Well, this is perfect. Thank you, Patrick, for coming on the show.
Thank you for
thank you
having
for
me.
making this drink for us.
Thank you for making our signature cocktail. You need to make a picture of this for the next few episodes. We'll finance it.
Here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Is you guys tell me for like any time you want me on to make a drink. You tell me, again, we'll start with something as simple as you tell me what kind of liquor you want as your base.
Okay.
And a cocktail will come from that.
That's
the most important thing. You tell me what you want. We'll go
I
from
like
there.
it. I like it. What do you think, Phil?
I'm all for it. That's the official Hipster and Homeboy
That
drink.
is. That is, and we're going to put up a whole recipe on our Instagram and all of that for everyone out there to make it. I know Patrick described it really well, but we want to put up a little note card showing exactly what you need to do and what and everything like that, so you can enjoy it at home.
Down in the comments.
Down in the
No,
comments.
down in the description.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In the description, and then I'm going to make a little thing.
Make comments.
Make comments.
Below the description.
Comment about it. If you try this at home, we want to know. Patrick needs to know so he can grow as a mixologist, not a coxologist. A mixologist. How good he is.
There's nothing wrong with being a cox. It's 2025.
Yeah.
You can come out of the closet already. You know?
We're not yucking anyone's yum.
Mix however you want.
Exactly. So we're going to end the show on drinking more of this here at the studio. But I think, I think we ended this on a good note. Thank you, Patrick, so much for being on here and talking everything. We're going to have you on again because we need to talk more about, the industry and everything like that. But AI, we got to do a whole episode on AI. So I'm gonna hand the sign off to my homeboy over here. So grab that and give us a little cheers.
All right. So to next week.
To next week.
Shout out to Patrick. Shout out to Mario. Shout out to Ryan, our hipster.
What's up?
Drinks up.
Drinks up, everybody. Thank you.